Hey, good morning and happy Wednesday. Um, just about every 45 days, I get a book in the mail from some friends of mine at Price Pritchett. And, it's not often that on a video like this, I would actually say to people, you need to pick up the phone and buy this book. So this may be my first time ever on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday video doing that. But damn, buy this book. I get it in the mail. They send me a note because I help. I read all their books and I promote them all the time, and I love it. First of all, look, see how thin that is? I like any book that's thin. People ask me, how many books a year do you read? I'm like, 200. Well, hello, I pay attention. This is 24 pages. Listen to the conversation that this book is in, and the reason why it was so intriguing to me. The book is called The Fourth Level of Change. The Fourth Level of Change, 10 practices for top performance during global uncertainty. I wonder if that relates to you and I in our business dealing with the customers that we deal with. I think the answer is yes. Listen to the four things. I'll just read this very quickly, and then I'm just going to assume that you're going to call the number and you're going to buy the book, and you're going to understand why. I have already read this 5 times now. Here's the book. You ready? 4 levels of change. We have 4 options we can choose from in handling change. First, we can resist change and struggle to cope with the situation. Do you know anybody in our business that has struggled and resisted the change? I don't like short sales, darn it. I'm just not going to do it. Let's face it, that's not being realistic for today's marketplace. They're coping with the situation, but they're resistant. When we're resistant, what does that do? You and I both know sales is all about a transference of energy. So if I'm pushing out resistance, what do I get back? I get back more resistance. So number 1, not good. Number 2, it says second, we could decide that we'll merely comply with what's happening. Now, think about this. It says passively accepting change, but failing to offer any meaningful support to it. So let's say, for example, you're talking to your coach, you're talking to your manager, you're talking to a loved one about an intention, a goal, something you'd like to do. But if you're only about complying with it because someone said you should do this, it's not really your idea, you're not totally passionate about it, how much energy do you give it? It's like it's New Year's and everybody's going to go on a diet. So you went on a diet, and let's be honest, how often does that work? Never. So complying, right, is the second level of change. The third level of change, he says, is a third option is to capitalize on change when it comes our way. To capitalize on change when it comes our way, trying to capture potential benefits that it brings before anyone else. So what are the changes happening in your industry? What are the things that we're seeing? What are the obvious differences you need to be going for? Are you capitalizing on it? Are you at that level? Are you still coping with technology? Are you still complying with Facebook? I'm doing it because everybody else is doing it and blah, 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 blah. Or are you like what Gap announced? Gap just announced last week, we're stopping all television advertising. It doesn't work. The ROI, return on investment, isn't there anymore. We are going for level 4. Level 4, we're going to shift all those dollars online. Facebook, Twitter, all those obvious spots to connect with where people are today. See, you got to get to the 4th level of change. Let me read it to you really fast. You'll get it. Finally, we might create change on purpose. We might create the change on purpose, using it as a tool of our choice to favorably shape the future. How powerful is that? Now, again, I'm not a book of the month club guy. I'm not one of these, you gotta buy this book, then you gotta buy this book. That's not my style. I read these every time I get them. Let me give you the number. I really do believe you should buy it. 1-800-992-5922. Well, Tom, do you get paid for this? No, I wish I did. 1-800-992-5922. You need to buy this one, and while you're there, you should probably buy the book U Squared. Very powerful. You've heard me talk about that one for years. Everybody talks about that book. It's extraordinary. If you haven't read it, get it. All I want you to get present to is the change is already here. Now the question is, which level are you at? I want you and I to only be in one place, creating the change, that we're leading the revolution in our industry, that we're leading the revolution with our customers, and that we are present to the fact that when we are creating the change, we are in control. If you're a control freak, and I think you are, if you're a control freak, there's only one level to be at, and that's at level 4. So if you're one of the first 2 or 3, we need to talk. Call my office, have a conversation with your coach. Let's get you out of those first 2 because that's where you're stuck and that's where you're in trouble. The third one's okay, but level 4 is ultimately where you want to be. So long one for you. Get that book. It's that powerful. I love you, and remember, your strategy matters and your passion rules.